Gentlemen, as you know, I love a great bargain. And what's one of the best places to go and grab some great style bargains? Charity shops. Now, I've banged on about charity shops in many videos before, telling you how I found some fantastic style bargains in charity shops around my area. And I decided to make this video to show you some of my most recent style finds in case you guys were interested. Now, you'll have to bear in mind a couple of the shirts that I've included haven't been ironed yet. I just haven't had the time to get around to it, but you know, you've got to imagine them ironed. Okay, so the first item that I managed to pick up from a charity shop is this t-shirt for £1, fellas. £1. I don't think you can really moan. It's St. George by Duffer, and it fits me pretty well. It's not ideal on the sleeves. You'll see it sort of protrudes out slightly, and if you can, I'd recommend getting some with sleeves that are a bit tighter to your arm, but that's always a bit difficult for me because I'm so skinny. Fits reasonably well around the neck. It's got a bit of a logo on, but it's nothing that's going to dominate the t-shirt, which is what I like and it's what I look for. It does have this sort of strange section at the top around the back. Sort of gives the shoulder a bit more of a firm line, but I don't mind it really, to be honest. It's so high up, you don't really notice it. It's not necessarily a negative of the t-shirt. This next shirt, we're going a bit more formal, and this is arguably my best ever find in a charity shop. I mean, look at the fit on this thing. I have to say, I don't think a tailor could do much of a better job of getting the perfect fit than this. It's the Jeff Banks blue and white slim fit. Fits really nicely around the collar, comes with the collar stays included as well. I think this cost me £2.99, and when you consider that these shirts typically retail at £30 approximately, I think that was a really good deal. It fits great on the torso. It hugs me nice and tightly, which is something that's quite rare for me, and the armholes are nice and high as well, which for a slim guy is also quite rare to find in charity shops. The sleeves are pretty darn good. You can't get much better than this for a skinny guy like me. It fits nice and tightly up at the top, but it's not looking like it's sprayed on. And it's also got a bit of extra length as well. You'll see it's quite a long one, which means it's perfect for me when I'm working, because it means I can tuck this thing in and it never comes out. And once again, like with the other items, this shirt was pretty much new. There's absolutely no signs of wear on this thing, apart from the wear that I've been wearing for the past month or so. But yeah, I really like this shirt, and it really goes well with my pale skin complexion. It doesn't make me look like a ghost. And for the next of the more formal style shirts, I've got this really nice TM Lewin slim fit shirt as well. Now, instead of the checks, this one's got the pinstripes instead. The reason I've got the sleeves up is because this one is a double cuff, and I don't really like to utilize the double cuff unless it's for a particular formal event, because for my line of work that's just not necessary. Now, this shirt's also slim fit, and it fits me fantastically, if not perfectly, on the torso. It's not quite as long as the Jeff Banks one, which means that sometimes if I'm tucking this thing in, it does come undone. But nonetheless, for £2, I can't really moan. The only thing that bugs me with this one is that the sleeves are a little bit baggy, and you'll see there's quite a bit of extra material when you compare it to the previous shirt. Also, when I roll the sleeves down, and when I use the double cuff, it's maybe a fraction short. Maybe could just be doing with a fraction longer on the sleeve for me. I feel like it's a little bit short, but for the price I'm paying, I cannot moan. Okay, so the next couple of items I managed to snipe are trousers, and this first pair I got for about £4. Top Man, this is actually the stretch skinny, and I'd recommend the stretch skinny because the rest of the skinny tights from Top Man are way too tight. This one is about as tight as you ever need to go. I wouldn't recommend going any tighter than this unless you want to risk looking feminine, basically. Dark grey, really versatile. I was actually looking for this exact same pair full price from Top Man. I nearly bought one for about 25-30 quid, and then I found this pair brand new with the tag still on for £4 from a charity shop, and I was on holiday, and I have to say I'm really impressed. It's one of my favourite pieces that I've actually managed to get from charity shops. The great thing with the grey jeans is you can dress them up or you can dress them down. And the final item that I managed to bag myself was this pair of trousers from the exact same shop and the same rack as the previous pair of jeans, but these are chinos with a little bit of stretch in them as well, and they're supposed to be the same fit as the previous jeans. Now, in my opinion, this is maybe a little bit on the tight side, but the great thing with this is, due to the sort of stretchy material, this is so comfortable, and it doesn't quite look like it's, you know, too skinny for me, maybe a little bit. But again, I got this thing for about £3 or £4 I think, so I can't really moan. And already, after only wearing this thing twice, I've had several nice compliments. And it's got this rather unusual, it's sort of like a checkered pattern, a little bit hard to see through the camera I think, but it's a very nice pattern, makes it very versatile to wear. But then again, it's nothing that's too overbearing, because sometimes with the checks, they can be so big and bold at the dominating outfit, but with this, it's very, very subtle, and I actually really like the texture on this. Now, something like this is a fantastic alternative to a suit. Maybe pair these with a shirt, and then this is a great look if you're working in an office, maybe if you work in retail, somewhere that doesn't involve manual labour, but you want to dress a bit better than your colleagues without having to go all out and wear a suit. And that pretty much wraps this one up, fellas. I can find a lot of these great regular items in charity shops, such as shirts, trousers, but when it comes to things such as shoes and jackets, I really find myself struggling. When it comes to shoes, the only things that I seem to find in charity shops here anyway are massive, square-toed, big, bulky, and almost destroyed pairs of shoes. And then when it comes to jackets, there's just nothing that's slim fit whatsoever. I think when it comes to shirts and trousers, people experiment a bit more, but when it comes to like jackets, suit jackets, blazers, they're all just giant box cut things, and it's a bit difficult to find them. So if you find a stylish version of either of these things, I would recommend snapping it up before someone else does. I want to hear in the comment section below, what's the best cheap style find that you guys have had? Maybe in a sale, maybe in a charity shop. I know that you guys in America particularly seem to have much better charity shops and thrift stores with a much larger variety of stuff in. Whereas here it's almost entirely old men's stuff, which is why I made this video, to show some of my personal highlights, the best bargains that I've found. If you enjoyed today's short video, make sure you leave it a like to let me know. And also, if you are new around here, if you haven't seen any of my videos before, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I upload 3 times a week, every single week. Similar videos to this one to do with men's style, grooming and well-being. Basically, everything that you need to know to feel like a more attractive guy. And I'll see you on the next video, guys. Gentlemen, is it just me, or after a hard month of working, you take a look at your bank account and there still isn't much in there? You start questioning things. Have I been paid the right amount? I'm sure I should have earned more than this. And usually that isn't the case, especially if you're a student. The thing is, material possessions and life generally just costs way more than you ever expect. And I know from being a student myself that the majority of you guys out there are absolutely horrendous.